This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe and help get this video to 5,000 likes.
And I say, hey!
Arthur is excited to go to the museum with his dad when DW rolls in like a squeaky third wheel. Mr. Reed calmly explains that the trip is just for him and Arthur, but DW demands to tag along.
But I want to go to the museum too!
The demonic daywalker resorts to crying and screaming to get what she wants, which sadly will be her default for the rest of the episode. Fortunately, we can count on Mrs. Reed to make things even worse than they already are. She foists DW onto Arthur and his father, as she'd rather not spend her day looking after two crying babies. And honestly, I don't blame her. The Reed clan gets to the museum, and DW refuses to go into the sea monster exhibit. Then why the f*** did you want to come along? She begs her dad to take her to the unicorn exhibit instead, and her big brother is having none of it.
Can't we see the unicorn?
They said no.
Damn, Arthur, I didn't realize you had a backbone. Because your father clearly doesn't. Mr. Reed once again gives in to DW's demands, as he abandons his son to go to the unicorn exhibit. Arthur laments how younger siblings only exist to wreck things for everyone else. Hell, I've been saying that for the past 3 years. That night, DW is bragging about her museum trip at dinner, and has the utter gall to insult Arthur to his face.
Doesn't this clown unicorn look just like Arthur?
Oh, go f*** yourself. Mr. Reed plans to make it up to Arthur by taking him fly fishing. Where the hell did that fishing pole come from?
Dad, it's time for my bedtime story!
You want a bedtime story? Here, Once Upon a Time. The end. The two eagerly plan their DW-free weekend to the lake, which Mr. Reed has only previously visited with his father and his daddy. Arthur and his dad are all set to go as DW tries to get under her brother's skin, like the jealous little leech she is. Arthur foolishly gets his hopes up before being cruelly reminded that God hates him. It turns out Mr. Reed will have to work the next weekend, and therefore won't be able to spend time with DW. What a shame. The fussy 4-year-old cries how it's not fair that Arthur gets to have 2 weekends in a row with their father. And instead of taking 10 seconds to explain that he'll spend his next free weekend with DW, Mr. Reed decides to let DW crash their father-son trip. Again. The Reeds drive to the lake while DW blasts her goddamn Mary Moo Cow cassette on loop. They get to the campsite, only to find the peaceful fishing hole has been turned into an RV camp. Cause why bother shitting in the woods when you can shit in your own car? After the family sets up camp, Arthur and his dad head out to go fishing. DW tries to tag along until Arthur tells her to f*** off. Good for you, Arthur. The two go to Mr. Reed's private fishing hole, where he used to spend his days catching fish and reeling Ratburn's rod. Turns out Arthur's fishing skills are weaker than his father's pullout game. Arthur ends up spraining his ankle, and DW wastes no time rubbing salt in the wound.
Safety first! That's what Mary Moo Cow always says.
DW, if your parents believed in safety first, you wouldn't be here right now. The next morning, Arthur's ankle is still hurting, and DW jumps at the chance to have their father all to herself.
Yay!
Geez, what's so god-awful about their mom that David Reed is the golden parent? That afternoon, DW strolls into camp acting like she's the messiah, with fish and loaves to boot. It turns out Mary Moo Cow is great for catching fish, cause I'm guessing the fish would prefer to be eaten than listen to some bastardized Barney butcher Frere Jacques. Arthur's surprised that DW isn't freaking out over the dead fish, like the last time they went camping. DW says she's changed her tune now that she's discovered the thrill of the kill. The next morning, Arthur begs his dad to take him fishing in the rain, only to return to camp empty-handed. While they were gone, DW used her Mary Moo Cow tape to help the camp genocide half the lake's fish population.
Mary Moo Cow, I love you!
Arthur is fed up with this bullshit and storms off to go drown rocks in the lake. He bemoans that DW always gets whatever she wants, and his dad fails to recognize that this is largely his fault. He tries to comfort his son with hollow rhetoric about being the bigger person, when Arthur suddenly spots the legendary lake whale, fulfilling his father's childhood dream. Wait a minute, you're telling me a whole-ass whale has been living in this tiny lake for decades and nobody spotted it until now? How is that thing even still alive? Whales can't live in fresh water. Educational show my ass. Arthur goes back to being the favorite child, while DW whines that she didn't get to see the whale herself, until she does. And the Reed family never goes back to the lake again, because after a god-awful trip with his family, Mr. Reed realized he should only share his private fishing hole with the one man who knows how to fill it. Let's review. DW ruined not one, but 2 father-son weekend trips in a row. She crashed Arthur's special fishing trip and resorted to crying at the top of her lungs until her horrible parents caved to her demands. She hoarded her father all to herself and bragged about being a better fisher than her brother. She used her awful music to murder fish and indoctrinated everyone at the camp into the hellish cult that is Mary Moo Cow. When Arthur complained how DW gets everything she wants, Mr. Reed did absolutely nothing to disprove this fact. His father all but confirmed DW will continue to get her way until the end of time, because neither of the Reed parents have a fucking backbone. And Arthur was only able to win back his father's favor by spotting a literal white whale, which I'm sure DW will somehow take credit for finding. F-U-D-W. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know in the comments which of my old videos you'd like to see remade. If there's a specific episode you want me to cover, consider becoming one of my top tier patrons to commission a review for my channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
And I say, hey, what a wonderful